get over this video. Anyways, I guess part of this video is mainly to inform you that, and this has nothing to do with me working on here. I won't continue working on here. I have no problem. Like, I would like to be on here. I would like to be on here more than I am. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to overpost. I do have a tendency to sometimes, or I get to engage in something, and I'm probably doing that now. And that hints at probably why I'm saying what I'm going to do now. And that is, I'm also going to be joining a new site. And I want to be posting content on there. It's video content, and to where I've not really posted video content much of anywhere else on the rep. I am posting it here now. Some of it, very little, probably very little, because this is more of a right-leaning rep site. And like I said before, I'm a left-leaning person, not a radical leftist, I don't think, but I am certainly left-leaning, and I would consider myself liberal. But so part of this video is going to be me talking about that, and part of me. I know you people are getting tired of this, even, and I admit it's something wrong with me, but I will be talking a little bit about gender relation, because that is part of what I want to talk about on there. And I'm sure there will be some disagreements with me on there, because some right-wing people are not against that. Some left-wing people are not also. And I don't want to talk too much about left-wing issues like I have been talking about more, especially as of more recently on there, because I don't feel like I'm getting in an argument with some of these idiots right off the bat, simply because, I mean, you never know, and I don't mean idiots, but you never know that some of them might be nice people I can work with. I mean, there have been some people on the right wing that I have gotten along with or learned to get along with. Some are more intelligent and reasonable than others, and I mean, I think in their weird kind of way, I think the right wing is more tolerant than some people on the left. I mean, certainly there are some very intolerant people on the left. Supposedly on the left, you have to kind of doubt or at least question that. The point is whether I'm going to be going to a website. I know it took me long enough to say where, but it's going to be called, I don't know, is it Bitachu? I don't know if it's Bitchachu. I don't know if it's like supposed to be bitch or Bitchachu or Bitchachu, like kind of like Pikachu, but it sounds like bitch. I guess it's like, because that is what I'm doing. I mean, I admit that on some level. And that's what you're all doing. If you're making these videos, I mean, you're mainly just bitching into a camera. I mean, that's what we do. It's a way of expressing ourselves. I guess that's what they're talking about. But either way, rather, they are more of a right-wing website. But I have noticed that not only have Alex Jones went over there, there's another guy called he's a bit more normal compared. Like, he's not some kind of weird right-wing fanatic. I mean, he's a guy. He's more normal. And I have seen his videos before. He even did videos with a former wrestling writer named Vince Russo. So he's not some crazy kind of, like he's normal and that shit. But his name is probably a lot more normal than I am, in fact, I would believe. But his name is Razor Fist, and he's a guy, but it's he's not. In spite of his name, I think it's Razor Fist. Yeah, or is it Razor Edge? I think it's Razor Fist. Anyways. Either way, regardless, I've seen his videos. He's a normal guy. He's not some weirdo. He's far more normal than I am. And, he's trust me, just look him up on here. I think he's on here still. Who gives a fuck? The point is, he's over there, and I will be making some videos there. Obviously free of charge, because I don't get paid for any of this, and I don't want to be paid for any of this, and I'm not in this for the money, and I'm not marketing myself, and I don't have any fucking interest in profit, and I don't care about profit. And I don't even make money to make art. I mean, you probably not to call this art, but I do what I do because I believe in what I'm doing, and I do that. And I realize that many of you people probably won't even see my shit, and you're not seeing it here, and they probably won't see it there, and I'm doing a lot of this for nothing, but this gives me a sense of purpose, and it gives me a way of kind of expressing myself and getting ideals out, because I have so many fucking ideals to get out. Because I am very weird, and I have a lot of mental issues, and I am Asperger's and autistic, and I have a drinking issue also that probably doesn't help anything rather. But I just have a very deep interest in expressing myself and my philosophy and my ideals, and that is largely what my channel is about and why I do what I do. And I'm trying to get those ideals out as good as I can in a world that seems to, in many cases, not be willing to hear other people's thoughts or ideals. And that's not good, but that is the way many people are. But either way, regardless, I'm going to be making videos, and one of the places I'm going to be making videos is on, I guess, BitChute or whatever, and I know Gab has got groups back, so I'll probably be posting more writings on Gab. I have another site that's like a bit more bizarre that I don't want to tell you about because it's just weird and okay, I'm a weird person. The point is, nothing illegal, asshole. You know, it's about sex, but it's and most of what I post on there isn't even about sex. It's just the same shit I posted here, but I'm on there because I'm an idiot. The point is, and again, I just have a lot of like shit. Like I'm always posting shit somewhere, either here or there, and I'm always trying to get my ideas out there. And I would like to interact with anyone who wants to talk to me. And that includes even people over on the right or the right ring, if they're willing to talk to me. And some people have been, or some people are rather. And anyone in the left ring or anyone else, because I do want to get my ideals out there. I want to trade ideals with people. I want to talk to them and improve my ideals. And I don't want to be a fucking flaming, wobbling, babbling idiot that doesn't listen to other people. So I'm more than willing and happy to listen to anyone else. And I want to take your ideals into consideration and really work with you and get those ideals out and improve myself and improve my ideals. And I think that in many cases, I think I am in some way almost prevented from doing that. And that is not something rather that I'm happy to do or something I want to do. I want to improve myself. I want to listen to other people. If you have intelligent logic, but beyond that, I want to talk about male genital mutilation because there's a guy called, I think it was Net Rider or something, and he asked me some odd question about, I think it was something about Eastern European Christians, and I had some Eastern European in me, but certainly not enough to know what they're doing over there. But supposedly they're not generally mutilated. 1 minute. Keeps going and going and going and going. And there we go. But supposedly they're not generally mutilated, and he asked why, and I don't know why that is, but I do know the majority of the world, especially in Europe and the majority of Asia, most of Europe, the majority of Asia, Canada no longer does, Mexico doesn't, most of the Hispanic world doesn't, most places in the world, a lot of Africa doesn't even do it, a lot of places, most places in the world don't generally mutilate their children. I saw something on some video today, and I'm not going into detail about what, but it was like, why do you care what someone else does to their genitals? And my question or my answer simply was this, because I replied to them, and it was rather, why do I care about female genital mutilation? Well, I will tell you why, and the answer is simple. I don't think that you can just mutilate your children's genitals, and it's the same thing for ear piercing. Even ear piercing can cause problems, and I don't specifically, or I don't really agree with that, or rather doing that to children. And that can, like I said, rather cause problems, not quite as much as mutilating someone's cock, but it can cause problems. And I talked about rather how I don't support that, and I think a human's body, especially a child's body, is their body, and all the parts of their body is their body. And it can negatively affect sexual interaction for them when they get older with each other, with other adults when they become older, younger adults. So forth, and they can't feel sensation the same. It removes about 50% of the skin of the penis. It removes 20-something thousand nerve endings. It makes sex worse for the woman. It harms the woman, hurts the woman more rather when you have anal intercourse with her. When you have vaginal intercourse, it's not quite as good. It takes away from the stimulation of the clitoris. It's not lubricated. You can't really have anal sex. It's not as easy to do, it's not as good to do, and it's just a stupid procedure that is simply done for no reason other than in this country we think it looks better, and that is quite odd actually when you think of it, as I said to someone else, whether, because if you think about what you're doing, the only damn reason you think it looks better is because the majority of people in America, or probably not even the majority for long, but a lot of people in America at least, are generally mutilated, and the only damn reason they are is because you ever started doing that in the first place. So it's stupid, and that's one of the things I want to talk about in this other website too, and I'm going to go in there and talk about that, but it's just a really dumb procedure, and that's my point. And it can kill a lot of children a year, and it is, we train about 80 to 120,000 children. I'm the 80, I'm not 100, I'm sorry about that, but 80 and 120 children a year, at least not in one country. I don't know about the world, but it can kill you, and it can also cause castration. It can cause the sexual transition of the child. Again, not something they're wanting at that point.
not something they're asking for, because you need to generally mutilate the child. It doesn't always happen to younger children. As far as I know, I did not need to be, I don't think. The majority of you probably did not need to be. There are some situations where the child has some form of very tight foreskin, or maybe even rather extreme phimosis, or something wrong with them where they have to be, but that is very rare, and usually you can even cure that by lesser extreme measures, or a small snipping, stretching, even some cases even just rubbing lotion on the organ. You don't have to mutilate the child, the kid, in and or rather, it often doesn't happen or even appear until later in life, and there really is rather no reason for this or to do that. And it is a genital mutilation. It's a mutilation of the child. Whenever you're taking off part of the human body, it is a mutilation of the child, and it's very odd and weird, and I don't understand it, and it's very fucked up. And I'm against that. And I guess, if I have anything else to say, it's very, very fucking bizarre. It's very rare that you would need to do that anyways. It's not a commonality, or rather, it's not a common thing. And certainly to do that for someone else's supposed sexual interest, because they might be more interested in the other when they're an adult. I mean, that is just so bizarre. And imagine if you were saying that about girls. I mean, like, you would literally throw a shit fit. You probably should, but because it's fucking bores, no one gives a fuck. And it's like, that is absolute child abuse, and that is anything but privilege. That is actually absolute gender bias working in the other direction. And I'm sorry, even though I am, because whether or not, even though I am against ear piercing, or even though I am against ear piercing, you cannot compare an ear piercing to genital mutilation. Hell, even if you were piercing the genitals, that wouldn't maybe cry as bad as actually chopping off shit. So it's just absolutely ridiculous, and that's primarily what I wanted to talk about here. If anyone is interested, and I know that I'm not getting a lot of viewers, and I'm not sure why, or like why people are kind of, what is the word I'm looking for? Shying off of me, shying away from me, maybe that's what I'm looking for. But the point is, it is a stupid procedure that there is no point in, and no one can figure out why. And as far as the obsession I have really goes, to answer that one person's question, and I thought he was against it too, and I think he is, but the obsession, rather, even though I know he said he was, and I am as well, I am too, it's just a bodily, it's a violation of one's bodily integrity to be in charge of what you do with your body, and not have someone else choose what to do with your body, what you do with your body. Now, if you want to choose what you do with your body, you can do that all you want. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can do whatever the hell you want, and that's up to you. But don't force that on your kids or your children for any reason, especially if it's not even religious. But I mean, even if it is, that is still wrong, and there is no reason to do that. And the kid's fine the way he is. Just leave your kid's junk alone. It's just very bizarre. P666.